As we are still digesting this decision, there are a lot of gray areas that we have been looking into, like the future of in vitro fertilization. I recently traveled to Jacksonville to meet with a couple who used IVF and are thinking about it again. They say they may be doing it sooner rather than later now that Roe V Wade has been overturned.
It really hits me. Sometimes I sit here and cry. Yeah, just because I'm so lucky. Because this was my dream to make a baby room and the whole thing.
Samira Valdez and her husband Bobby knew early on they wanted to start a family. Sienna was imagined long before she was even here.
We were wanting to have kids right when we got married, but we kind of knew that there might be some issues.
Bobby's a transplant recipient. His medications took their toll on his body.
We tried for over a year, and unfortunately, it just couldn't happen.
So they enlisted the help of Dr. Samuel Brown with Brown Fertility. He has decades of experience helping couples like the Valdezes create a family. After a miscarriage, they conceived. Sienna was born happy and healthy. They have 3 embryos left, and they're thinking about trying again. But with Roe v. Wade overturned, they're now adjusting their timeline.
In my head, I thought maybe we'd wait till Sienna was like 2 or 3. But I think that now with everything going on, we definitely probably have to make some sooner choices.
Did you ever think in those decades that Roe v. Wade and IVF would be in the same sentence?
Never would assume that they'd be in the same sentence at all.
Especially given he's in the business of creating life. What once was a Frankenstein science, as Dr. Brown says, is now a glow of hope for families.
Now in the United States, 1 out of every 20 babies is an IVF baby. So 2 to 5% of the population is now from IVF.
That hope has now been clouded with concern. Dr. Brown is fielding calls from patients about the uncertainty of their future.
Our concern is, with the debate over Roe v. Wade, if it gets redefined at the state level, how will the state handle that information?
He says it comes down to the question of, where does life begin? The egg? The embryo?
It's really after it attaches to a human uterus, starts to have a heart beating, and it's not a cancer like a molar pregnancy, and it's not something called an ectopic pregnancy, then you can consider that a normal life. Before those stages, it's questionable.
As is the future for these IVF families.
My heart breaks for those families that, what if there's caps that they put on, not being able to have the opportunity to make as many as they can, because there's a huge chance of them not possibly, working the first time.
And then she tells me this, that, I want this done, I want this done, I want this done, I want this done. Go ahead and get it done. I'm like, okay, sure.
Are you preparing for the second one?
Yeah, I have no idea where I'm gonna put her.
The Valdezes are focusing their energy elsewhere. Bobby already imagining another girl, and Samira imagining life with another love. Lovely couple there, and we wanted to go more in depth about the future of a woman's eggs and embryos. I spoke with fertility attorney Roya Barrios. She says that she's been fielding numerous calls from people asking what is next. The big question here is an embryo considered a person or property?
We really don't know because personhood hasn't been defined yet. Some states are leaning towards just conception as soon as there's conception. When that happens, the science and religious community kind of differ in that. But yeah, if embryos start getting personhood status, we don't know where that will lead.
So many questions out there.